Salutations. Kicking out a few videos today, had a chance to do it. Everything's started moving again, so it's been hard to get these done. Want to talk about, I obviously have a very large interest in cryptids. And this one is the Waheela, which was the first time I had heard it was years ago from a gentleman, Frank Graves, was talking about it on In Search Of or one of those shows. Anyway, this was reported to be a wolf, and the Native Americans have described it also. A very large wolf that's seen normally in colder climates like Alaska and other places. But it's supposed to be somewhere between 3 to 4 feet tall, shoulder length, or to the size of a horse. And I find that very interesting. When Frank Graves and others that have had these encounters with these beings, if they shoot at these wolves, these huge wolves, it will move the brush but not affect them, and they just kind of go off after that. And that's something we've heard typically about some of these cryptids. Like another one would be the devil monkey, which I've done a video on that's on Patreon definitely, and I'll try to get it to YouTube eventually or whatever. But that also is a being that's been shot at, and it will move. It doesn't seem to be fazed by it. And going back to the Waheela, I've heard it taught when I start researching it, you also see it sometimes quoted as being a ghost wolf. Now, when I look at ghost wolves, that my understanding of that is slightly different. That was known to be either a quote-unquote old type of sorcerer or shaman that was a shapeshifter, capable of shapeshifting. And that is somewhat interesting considering what I had happen with me with the Sasquatch, and there's some type of shape-shifting ability. I do believe in that to a degree, definitely. But when looking at that in terms of the Waheela and these other cryptids, if you do have actually, when we've done a video over shape-shifting that is also on Patreon, all right, and actually how the true shape-shifting true shape-shifting occurs through the dream body, through the astral body, and the ability to move the cognitive ability strictly into the dream body. And at that point, the dream body does not conform to any of the physical parameters that this one does, physical laws that this body does. One of them would be gravity, another would be form. So if you're going to be really shape-shifting, you can sometimes be seeing dream bodies, energy bodies that are molding themselves by gifted, keen awareness and cognitive perception, cognitive ability. Just one thing at that, but that would explain why bullets don't affect these beings. Just food for thought if nothing else. Not saying I'm right, but hey, it's worth a thought. I understand that there's the Mackenzie timber wolf was thought to be the Waheela, but when I look into that more, it's that's not the same thing. There was also a creature that used to be called the bear dog that was, oh yeah, I don't want to say this wrong. I'll put up a picture of it. Epiphicon, I think it's pronounced. That was and that's in our fossil record. It was huge, but it was some type of almost dog that was the size of a bear, more bear-like in its size. So is that something that maybe has stayed around and escaped extinction? I've said before, another video then again on Patreon that is about laboratories. All right, is Earth a laboratory? So many of these cryptids that just come into our existence then are gone. Our mythology, Greek mythology, we've got all the making here for an experimental planet. We've got tons of different beings coming in, doing these experiments and pulling these beings out of here. Even Sasquatch might be part of that. Food for thought and nothing else. That is it. That's everything I wanted to drain. And this is just something to spur your consciousness, or to spur your consciousness to look this stuff up. You know, the Waheela is interesting. Look at nothing else, and there's got to be some verification there somewhere. So thank you all. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Much power. Thank you to the people on Patreon that are keeping me going, and for all the people that are taking time to actually watch my channel and make nice comments. I'm starting to see it now. It's gone beyond the trolling I used to get all the time to the positive. Thank you so much. Peace.